Am I the asshole for calling my stepsister a murderer after she kept calling abortion murder?
This sounds like some petty revenge type shit.
Yeah.
Sounds like Trump. Abortion is bad, even though I've had 20. You know what I mean? Like that.
Reminds me of that Bible story that I don't know if Sean was there. I think he was off that episode.
Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
But he was mentioning that like the husband was in a religion and he's mad that he's not the wife is not practicing said religion. So she used their words against his.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's kind of the same situation.
All right.
I still say probably it just, my prediction. It sounds like your sister got an abortion after spending a lifetime of being against abortions. It sounds like you're roasting her for it. That seems tough because I feel like that's kind of probably not a great moment. But, maybe this person has fundraised money against abortions and, put people in a lot of harm by trying to, put a leash on women's rights. And they now use it because it's inconvenient to them, which I guess would deserve a roasting. Yeah. So we'll see.
I do love petty revenge.
I know. This does seem something right up John's alley.
Yeah, actually, it is right up John's alley. So
perfect.
It goes like this. I, 23 female, am pro-choice. My older stepsister, Jane, 29 female, is very pro-life and often refers to abortion as murder. She's married to John, 32 male, who is also quite religious and against abortion.
Couldn't be me.
Jane and John follow very strict Christian values and are vocal about it.
Called it.
My parents, dad and stepmom, who raised me since I was 4, are pro-choice when it comes in some cases of rape, incest, and the life of the mother, as well as supporting D&C for non-abortive purposes. On Sunday, which was yesterday, we were having a family brunch after we had gone to church. My parents and I are Presbyterian, and Jane and John are Baptist. When the topic of abortion came up because Jane and John's pastor brought it up, Jane started her usual speech about how abortion is murder and how anyone who supports it is going against Christian values. I've heard this countless times, and I usually try to stay out of it to keep the peace, as do my parents. Though this time, she specifically called me out, saying I'm a disgrace to our family and to God because of my pro-choice views. She went on and on about how I'm not living according to Christian values and how disappointed she is in me, revealing I had an abortion in high school. I had a uteral fistula removed via D&C when I was 17.
Oh, this deserves the roast. This deserves
Ain't no love like Christian hate.
So she went on to say I should repent for my sins. I was tired of her holier-than-thou attitude and constant judgment, but revealing my medical history to her husband was the last straw to me. So in the heat of the moment, I snapped and said, quote, "At least I'm not a murderer by your standards, but you are," referring to the fact that Jane had an abortion in college, which she had confided in me a few years ago when she was drunk. Jane's face went white and John looked shocked. He had no idea about the abortion. Jane stormed out of the room and John followed, demanding answers. Now the whole family is upset with me for exposing Jane's secret and causing a huge rift in their marriage. Jane is furious and won't speak to me. My parents are disappointed and John is devastated. I feel bad for how things turned out, but I'm also angry that Jane keeps shaming me for my beliefs when she hasn't been honest about her past and was acting like a huge hypocrite. So am I the asshole?
Nope.
Fuck around and find out.
Nope. It's
Jane's
so
not the virgin.
Wild. Good show, by the way. Love that show.
Great show. Yeah.
It's so wild to me when people just like, I don't know. This happens all the time where people like have done the thing that they hate the most and are so like loud about it. You know
Go
what I
to
mean?
Therapy and figure that out.
Yeah.
Because it's clearly you hate yourself.
It's so strange. Like, what is it? We've said it multiple times.
Self-righteousness?
I don't know.
Self-completion?
Nope, not that one. But it's just like, it's so strange to me when you have this huge secret that you're clearly ashamed of. And instead of just going to therapy or just being quietly ashamed of it, you're just so loud and judgmental of everybody else that has done the same exact thing that you've done is wild. It's It's like how the Grindr CEO said the Republican National Convention is their Super Bowl. It's just like, just fucking, I don't get it, man. Just be
Love
who you are.
yourself.
Let the truth out.
Yeah.
Love yourself. It's so weird that people repress and then hate people that are, I don't know, openly doing what they're so shameful. Just maybe you shouldn't be ashamed about it. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's so strange to me, especially when you know that you've confided to this person your darkest secret, and then on a random brunch, you're going to be like, yeah, remember that time you fucking murdered somebody in high school? Like, okay, bitch, you know what? It's so like weird to give that person your darkest secret and then still roast them publicly. Like, do you not understand what is about to happen? Like, no, this was well deserved. It's people like this I will never understand.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with what Sean is saying. I'm not a big fan of virtue signaling at all. You know, it's and at the end of the day, I feel like I make fun of people with religion a lot, but at the end of the day, you know, what they say is only God can judge them. And by all means, if that's what you believe in, that's what you believe in. I don't like when other people like shame other people's choices and what they're, you know, what they stand in. However, with this specific with OP's sister, it seems like, yeah, she was so loud about it. She's like, yeah, there's murder, this and that. But, you know, it's a malicious compliance to its finest. And sometimes the way to put people in their place is doing something like that. Yes, it sucks. Yes, a relationship is ruined, but she was being a shitty person to begin with. So sometimes people deserve that flaming.
Yeah. Yeah. Because leading with hate and just being the loudest person in the room, they're like, oh, no one would ever suspect I would do this thing or I would be this thing. And it's like, no, just lead with love and then
I feel
understand.
like I immediately suspect that you are doing it. Like,
yeah. It's like whenever you play werewolf or anything like that. And it's like the loudest person.
I can't be the werewolf. There's no way.
Yeah.
So you're the werewolf, right?
Like that guy's definitely the werewolf.
I had a friend like that who, you know, who had did you know, done some things in the past and kind of virtual signals people, and I cut ties with them. I'm like, I'm not gonna have that same energy because I don't give a shit. A lot of times, like whatever you do is whatever you do. I don't, you know, just don't put it out there for me to like, no, I guess, but like at the end of the day, the choice you make are the choice you make, but don't shame other people for it. So I don't know. If I was OP in this situation, I would cut ties with them altogether.
Yeah, we all make mistakes, so pretending you're perfect is crazy to me.
That's the thing. That's the crazy part too. Is like, why are you gonna shame people for it? You know, like they probably lived with it. They probably went through the proper steps to heal themselves. But you bring that up on a random brunch, like what Sean's mentioning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, you deserve to get flamed for it.
Exactly. Reddit deemed not the asshole, and Danny Caps fan said, so it's okay for her to reveal your private medical information to family, but it's not okay for you to do the same to her. You weren't even pregnant. You just needed a medical procedure commonly used for abortion to deal with your medical issue. She actually had an abortion. She ended a pregnancy. She's hardly the only forced birther to have an abortion. And then they tell us to Google the only moral abortion is my abortion for more information. You just called her out on her hypocrisy, not the asshole. So I think that Google is like exactly what this is. It's like only my abortion, like you said about the Trump thing, only my abortion is the moral abortion. Only my 20 abortions is the moral abortion is what Trump's.
It's wild, dude.
Which is crazy. And then, also OP didn't get an abortion, just a procedure.
It was a medical procedure.
A medical procedure that is used for abortions, but it's not the same thing. So Jane is also just dumb.
Yeah, Jane got nothing to stand on in this fucking story.
Imagine roasting somebody for nothing and then just getting your life blown up. Was it worth it, Jane? Was it worth it?
You deserve it, buddy.
Yeah. That's why you should just lead with love. That's the moral of that one.
Get therapy.
I'm not ready.
Get therapy.